Hi, I'm Jennifer Melms, and today I'm going to be giving a commemorative speech on my grandfather. William Thomas Booth is my grandfather, and he's one of the most influential men in my life. I'd like to honor him in this speech. So a little background about him. He was born on July 15, 1926 in West Virginia. He won the heart of my grandmother, Dolores, and they were married on November 15, 1948. He joined the Navy where he served for many years. And then on December 29th, 1955, my mother, Deborah Ann Booth, was born. He retired from the Navy and started working at the Newport News shipbuilding, and he worked very hard to provide for his family. My mom and dad married on July 7th, 1984, and then later my sister, Christina Marie Steiger, was born on May 11th, 1986. Then I was due to be born at the end of June of 1991. My grandfather really wanted to share his birthday month with someone, and he hoped that I was going to be born in July. And then he got his wish because I was born on July 1st, 1991. So growing up, my grandpa was a very special thing for me. My grandparents took care of me all the time when I was younger. My mom was really sick when I was young, so I was at my grandparents' house all the time. My dad worked a lot, so for me, my grandfather provided a stronger male role model than my dad did. My grandparents always encouraged my sister and I to do well in school. We would often play school at their house. They had like a little chalkboard in their sunroom where I would teach my grandpa everything that I was learning in school. And as I got to be older, like some of the math and different things that we were learning was really hard for him, but he still was a good sport and always helped us and always encouraged us in everything we did. And I also grew up in the country, and we would always see the cows clustered together in the morning when we drove us to school, and we talked about how they were in cow school, and it was really funny looking back at it and really kind of silly, but it was such a special moment in my life. My grandpa also really influenced me as far as the qualities I looked for in a man. I always looked for somebody who was hardworking, but could have a good time and have fun, because that's how he always was. He always knew how to joke around, but also knew when work had to get done. When I was in my last couple years of high school, my grandpa was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. It started off kind of slow, but it got more aggressive as the years went on. Once my sister was married in 2009, I always worried that my grandpa wouldn't be around for my wedding. I was a lot closer to my grandpa than my sister was, so I really saw the importance in this for myself, and it just always something that weighed on my mind all the time. And I had really had planned for him to walk me down the aisle instead of my dad because I was so close with him. I was married on September 28th of 2013, and he barely made it to my wedding. He was really sick at this point, and he had the Parkinson-related dementia, and it was very far progressed. The morning of my wedding, he had actually said that he wasn't going to go. But by around noon, my grandma had got him dressed and convinced him to go. And at this point, he was wheelchair-bound and was unable to walk me down the aisle. But when I walked down the aisle, I stopped at my grandparents to hug both of them before I met my husband at the altar. It was really a special moment for me, and one of the things I really sticks with me still. And it was a really, really special moment. On January 5th, 2014, my grandfather passed away. He lost his fight with Parkinson's, but he was surrounded by his family when he passed. My grandpa always joked with me, and thankfully, he joked with me one last time before the day he passed. We had bought pizza over for their house for dinner, and even though he could barely eat anything by this point, he asked me if we had had dinner, because he was always very caring and just wanted to make sure that we were okay. I told him yes, that we had pizza, and he said to me, "Oh boy, is there enough for me?" And coming right back at him, I said, "Yeah, you want some?" And he just said he was kidding with me He knew he couldn't eat pizza, but that last joke meant so much to me, just to be able to have that interaction with him one more time. My grandpa always told me I was his angel, but now I say he's my angel up in heaven.